Welcome to a great day in my life as a realtor and a drawing inspector. How you doing today? Really? Well, I got to tell you, I had one heck of a day. I had a drawing inspection that was over an hour and a half out. And I got there. It was 5 gentlemen working on the roof. It was 1 gentleman out. And you know, whenever you're a drawing inspector, you want to verify the address, especially if it's a place you've never been. And because you want to make sure you're doing dry inspection on the correct place. And you also want to introduce yourself. So anytime I go somewhere new, and even if the people know me, I always get out and say, hey, how you doing? I'm Tangela Hayes. I'm a dry inspector for such company in the bank. So they know who I am. And of course, you know, I wear my real estate shirt because I want people to know also I am a realtor, a licensed realtor. It's just to cover myself. But I get there and this one gentleman, I was like, sir, when I introduced myself, he was like, and kind of walked out. Like I got on his nerves. And I was like, okay. And I was like, well, sir, may I ask you a question? Is this such address? I don't know. So you working on the house and you don't know the address? And he was, that's what I said. And he slammed his door and walked off again. Oh, okay. So I was like, okay, is there somebody else that I can talk to? No, it's just me and the roofers. I'm like, so it's nobody in the house? I said no. So I was like, okay, you know, it tends to be professional. Go ahead and take these pictures and go. Now, I almost at that point, because he was just being so rude and just ugly for no reason, I almost called my company to open to cancel that assignment and find somebody else. Now, the company that hired me had to really talk to me because nobody wanted to do this assignment. Nobody. They've been searching and searching. Nobody would do it. And I've done inspections for this particular building before. So I'm like, you know what? No problem. I'll do it. I love what I do, might as well. So I'm taking pictures, and I needed to get on the inside of the home. They don't have any stairs, no steps. They had a little folding chair. I'm not getting no folding chair. Well, I'm not going to fall. It was bad enough it was muddy out there. I didn't bring no mud shoes or no rain boots. And I wasn't going to fall in the mud. A couple of times I almost slipped. I was like, oh no, not today, not the kid, not going down. We're not doing that again. So I was like, excuse me, gentlemen. Because another guy came. Now he said it was just him and the roofer, but it was actually somebody else there. So I'm like, could one of you take my phone and take pictures on the inside of the house? And they were like, no, the one guy. And the other guy was like, well, it's a chair back there. And I said, sir, I'm not getting in that chair. I'm thicker than a snip, and I refuse to fall. And he was like, well, I'll take the sitting blocks and I'll be your stairway. Steps to get in there. And I said, okay, thank you, I appreciate you. So when I was walking up there, he said, is this good enough or you need it higher? I said, no, this is good enough. So he was like, hold my hand so you won't fall. And I was like, oh, thank you, I appreciate you. So I got in, I took pictures, and I was able to get out, and I took more pictures. And the one that helped me, the one that was being kind, I told him, I said, well, I appreciate you again for making me that, little stairway. I'm gonna go home to my home office, I'm gonna upload these pictures, and you all have a great day. He was like, wait, aren't you the engineer? And I said, no, sir, I am Tangela Hayes. I'm the drawing inspector. I work for the bank. And he was like, well, what does the drawing inspector do? I said, well, I come out and I take pictures of all the work you've done. I upload it for the bank to look at it so they can release funds so you all can get paid. He said, so you the money lady? I said, yes, sir. I said, some people call me money lady, some people call me money bag. I'm a drawing inspector. I said, in order for you and your crew to get paid, I had to come out here and do this inspection. So the one who was being a butt, he puts his head down. Yeah, put your head down. Then he was like, I didn't know. I announced who I was to him 3 times. And now, you know what, regardless of that, if you're having a bad day, don't take your issues out on other people. I had absolutely nothing to do with whatever was going on with him and in his head. Because at the end of the day, money is green. And that's how we out here working for money, to take care of our family or take care of ourselves. So then the other guy was like, you really important? I said, yes, sir. I'm a drawing inspector. I said, even if I'm a drawing inspector, I'm a person. I said, just like I respect you all, I respect. I said, and you don't have to like a person, but you have to respect them. I said, not once have I been disrespectful. And I looked at the one who was being rude. So of course I had to, give him a good stern look. I'm like, whenever you see that SUV pull up, you're going to see Tan Hayes with a hat and a smile, or you may see Tan Hayes with a hat and a frown. And I looked at him real hard. I said, because a drawing inspector is very important. That is how you get paid. Look them up and down real slow. I'm like, if a drawing inspector don't come out, that delays your paycheck. So then he looked down, he was like, I didn't know. Yeah, you didn't know. It doesn't hurt to be respectful. You never know how important a person is. Everybody's important. Everybody's important. They are. But you get more bees with honey. And of course, I didn't be ugly, but I think my facial expression said enough. And as I tilted my head, looked him up and down, and walked away, I told him, gentlemen, you all have a nice day, and the next time I come out, I hope they have a better experience. And the one who helped me, he went over and, he kind of put the gentleman to the side and kind of went off. And I appreciate him. That gentleman who helped me, thank you. I appreciate you and your kindness. Drawing inspectors, know your worth. You don't have to take anyone being disrespectful. And if someone else, call the company and cancel that assignment. You know, that's what it is, what it is. Because at the end of the day, we all out here chasing green money. Yeah, we are. Nothing else. Keep more beef with honey, remember that. And always smile, because I like your smile. And remember, king, keep your head up. Queen, keep your head up. Bro, keep your head up. Sis, keep your head up. Because you know what? You're wonderful, fabulous, and fantastic. And never let them see you frown. Don't let the small stuff stress you. Because remember, you're phenomenal and you're the one on top. All right, so you have a wonderful and fabulous day. And remember, you can make your house into a home. I can't wait to see you over that finish line. And we always go high when they go low. Because we're winners. So you have a wonderful and fabulous day. And I hope you get the rest that you need. And remember, don't let the small stuff stress you. Yes, because you are fabulous, fantastic, and you're blessed. All right, well, y'all have a wonderful evening. Toodles.